Hello friends, today we are going to discuss Unit 2 of Personality Theories block number 1, that is Trait Approach to Personality. In the introductory part, it is said that a large number of approaches to studying the personality have been put forward by many theorists. One of these this is the type and trait approach, and these have been especially attributed to few major theories. So, among the personality studies, type and trait approach are there. We are going to discuss that. First main heading in this chapter is objectives, that we don't want to discuss more. Next one is next main heading number 2. Main heading number 2 is type approach to personality. According to Hippocrates, there are 4 major types of personalities. They are blood, that is cheerful and active person. Next is firm, that is apathic and sluggish. Next one is black bile, that is sad and brooding. Next one is yellow bile, that is irritable and existable. So there are 4 type of personality type according to Hippocrates, that is blood, firm, black bile and yellow bile. Next one is William Sheldon. According to William Sheldon, there are 3 type of personality, that is ectomorphic, thin and fragile persons. Next one is endomorphic, that is fat, soft and round. Next one is mesomorphic, that they are muscular and strong rectangular persons. Next we are going to discussing here in the type approach is Myers and Briggs. According to Myers and Briggs, there are 4 types of personality. First one is extrovert and introvert, E or I. Second one, sensing or intuition, that is S or I. Next one is thinking or feeling, that is T or F. Then judging and perception, J or P. So according to Hippocrates, there are 4 type of personalities: blood, firm, black bile, yellow bile. According to William Sheldon, there is 3 type of personalities, that is ectomorph, endomorph and mesomorphic. Then according to Mayer and Briggs, there are 4 types of personality: extrovert or introvert, sensing or intuition, thinking or feeling. Next is judging and perception. Next one is critic. According to psychologists, they don't like to describe people in terms of type, but they like to explain people in terms of traits. So the third main heading in this chapter is trait approach and theories. These approaches explain personality in terms of traits, which are defined as relatively stable and consistent personal characteristics. Type approach assumes that there are separate and discontinuous categories into which person fit, whereas trait approach assumes that there are continuous dimensions such as warmth, extraversion, etc., that vary in quality and well as degrees. So the type approach define personality as discontinuous categories, and trait approach define personality as the continuous dimension. Under the trait approach, the viewpoints of Allport, Cattell, Eysenck and Guilford and a 5-factor model would be discussed in detail. So first one is Allport approach, Allport trait approach. When Allport went through the English dictionary, he found 17,953 words to describe personality traits. However, one of the basis of this he attempt to describe personality, he made purpose traits like dominance, friendliness, self-esteem and these traits are called lexical. This is called lexical approach to define personality. For Allport, traits are the building blocks of personality as well as the source of individuality. He is known as ideographic trait theorist who has strong belief that each person has some unique as well as some common characteristics that together form the unique combination of traits. According to Allport, there are 4 traits for individual. First one is common and individual traits. Here the common traits are shared and individual traits are unique traits. Next one is central traits, that is life focused traits. Example, friendship. Next one is cardinal traits. Cardinal traits are traits which is pervasive, dominant, outstanding in life, that every behavior seem traceable to its influence. For example, for the person with cardinal trait is Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi having a cardinal trait, peace loving and strong faith in non-violence, for his which he is well known. Next one is secondary traits. Secondary traits are traits which are less conspicuous, less consistent, less generalized, and less relevant to definition of personality. For example, food habits, hairstyles, and specific attitudes are examples of secondary traits. So these all are about traits. First one is common and individual traits. Next, cardinal traits. Next one is central traits. The last one is secondary traits. Next trait approach is from Cattell. According to Cattell, considered personality to be a pattern of traits providing the key to understanding in the predicting person's behavior. According to him, traits are relatively permanent and a broad reaction tendency to personality. They serve as the building block of personality. He distinguished between surface traits and source traits, constitutional and environmental mold traits. Next one, ability, temperament, and dynamic traits. So there is 3 types of traits are there. First one, surface and source trait, constitutional and environmental traits, ability, temperament, and dynamic traits. The observable qualities of a personality like kindness, honesty, helpfulness, generosity, etc. are surface traits. Source traits make up the most basic structure of personality and are underlying factors that person are responsible for intercorrelation among surface traits. Although source traits are smaller in number than surface traits, yet they are better predictors of human behaviors. Well, we all possess the same source traits, but we do not possess them in the same amount. For example, intelligence is an example of source trait, and every one of us possess this, but we all do not possess intelligence in the same amount. So Cattell found there are 23 source traits and 16 which studied in detail. He studied 16 of them in detail. The 16 source traits he studied detail are following. First one is reserved versus outgoing, less intelligent and more intelligent. Third one, emotional versus stable. 4, humble versus assertive. 5, sober versus happy go lucky. Sixth one is expedient versus conscientious, shy versus venture same. tough-minded versus tender-minded, trusting versus suspicious, practical versus imaginative, forthright versus shrewd, placid versus apprehensive, conservative versus experimenting, group tied versus self sufficient, and casual versus controlled, and relaxed versus tensed. Although the 16 source trait utilized in 16PF can be used to make distinction between normals and neurotics, they fail to assess all these aspects of deviant behaviors as well as the characteristics of psychotics. Next subheading is constitutional and environmental trait. Cattell also distinguished between constitutional traits and environmental model traits. Constitutional traits are those traits which are determined by nature or biology, whereas environmental model traits are those which are determined by nature, that is by experience gained in the interaction with environment. So the constitutional traits are the traits determined by the nature or biology, whereas environmental model traits are those which are determined by the nature, that is experience gained in interaction with the environment. Most surface traits for cattle reflects mixture of both heredity and environment. So we can understand that most natures are mixture of heredity and environment according to Cattell. Through the complicated statistical techniques called MAVA, he was able to assess the degree to which the various traits are determined either by environmental or genetically determined factors. So, in the constitutional and environmental traits, Cattell tried to explain that there is the traits are because of the whether because of the environment or the biological. Next is ability, temperament, and dynamic traits. Ability traits refers to the person's skill in dealing with environment and the goal set therein. Intelligence is an example for ability traits. Temperament traits refers to the stylistic tendencies that largely show how a person moves towards a goal. Being moody, irritable, easygoing are examples of temperament traits. Then dynamic traits. Dynamic traits are person's motivations and interest in which set of person in action towards a goal. The important dynamic traits in Cattell system are of three types. They are attitudes, urge, and sentiments. So we discussed Allport trait approach and Cattell trait approach. Next is Eysenck type bar trait hierarchy. According to Eysenck, personality is hierarchically organized, consisting of type and traits and habit. In Eysenck hierarchic theory, first level is types, that is called as super factors. The next one is traits. Traits are made up of types. Then it lead after trait, that is habits, and the last one is responses. Based upon numerous factors analyzed on personality data gathered from different populations, Eysenck divided two major factors or dimensions of personality, that is extroversion and introversion, and neuroticism and stability. In extroverts are individuals who are sociable and impulsive and who like excitement and orient towards external reality. Neurotics are the emotionally unstable person. So first type of first trait in Eysenck personality type is extraversion and introversion. Next one is psychoticism bar impulse control. Psychoticism are characterized by traits such as being intensive to others, hostile, at time cruel, and inhuman. Despite all psychological traits, Eysenck believed that psychotists tend to be creative. He based his conclusion on his work with schizophrenic who gave many original responses on Rorschach test. Next is inhibition theory. In the inhibition theory, in if inhibition strong, nervous system also becomes strong. According to the inhibition theory, if inhibitions are strong, nervous system also becomes strong. So introvert brain react quickly and extrovert brain react slowly. So in the inhibition theory, it is said that if inhibitions of a person is strong, the nervous system also becomes strong, and introverts brain react quickly and extrovert brain react slowly. This is the content of inhibition theory. Next one is arousal theory. Physiological system called ascending reticular activating system is fibers from brainstem to thalamus and cortex. And Eysenck view that was of the view that introverts have innately higher levels of arousal than of the extrovert. Thus, the relationship between ARS and cortex became reciprocal, that is, ARAS activate the cortex, which in turn influence ARAS either by increasing or inhibiting the excitability. All structure of visceral brain such as hippocampus, amygdala, cingulum, spectrum and hypothalamus are involved in generating emotionality. People showing higher degree of neuroticism generally have lower threshold for activity in visceral brain and a greater responsibility to sympathetic nervous system. That is the reason why neurotics are innately more reactive rather than overacting to even mild form of stimulation. So here ARIS is important. Visceral brain, importance of visceral brain we discuss. Next one is Guilford theory. Guilford theory. Individuals have unique trait. All individuals, according to Guilford, all individuals have unique traits. 7 modalities of traits are following. First one is physiological and morphological traits. Number 2, needs, interest and attitudes. 3, aptitudes. 4, temperament. So first one is physiological and morphological traits. Second one, need, interest and attitudes. Third one is aptitudes, and fourth one is temperament. In physiological and morphological traits, which are together called somatic traits, physiological traits refers to physical functions such as heart rate, breathing rate, hormone level, blood sugar, and so forth. Morphological traits, on the other hand, refers to physical attributes such as physique, head size, length, hand, leg size, size of the ear, etc. Next one is need, interest and attitude. Need, interest and attitudes are regarded as homotic, which means adaptive responses, dimension of personality by Guilford. Interests are person generalized behavior tendency to attracted by some stimuli. Attitudes also instigate behavior that are defined as the disposition to favorite or not to favor a social object or social actions. So these are the needs, interests, and attitudes. Next one is aptitudes. Aptitude refers to how well individual can perform a given activity. They represent a dimension on ability, though they are more specific than abilities. So, on the basis of factor analysis, Guilford identified primary three aptitudes. They are perceptual aptitude, psychomotor aptitudes, and intelligence. Perceptual aptitudes relate to the various sense modalities and include factors like visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and sensitivity. Psychomotor aptitudes are abilities shown by physical educators, dance instructors, and athletic coaches. Intelligence is general aptitude. Guilford developed his famous structure of intellect model based upon three primary parameters of operation, products, and content. Next, that is operational dimension, product dimension, and content dimension. So it is 5 into 6 into 4 factors. Together it is 120 factors before, and he add one more factors to the first section, that is operational factors. So after that it is 6 into 6 into 5, that is 180 factors. Next one is temperament. So in Guilford trait theory, first one is physiological and morphological traits. Second one, need, interest, and attitude. Third one is aptitude. Fourth one is temperament. According to temperament refers to the manner in which the individual perform a behavior, whether the person is impulsive, tolerant, deliberate, or critical. His or her behavior is all indicative of person's temperament. Temperament has been assessed by varieties of inventories, in which Guilford Zimmermann temperament survey become very popular. Guilford Zimmermann temperament survey become very popular, that is GZTS. GZTS assesses 10 bipolar traits to temperament. Guilford has pointed out that there are three levels of traits generally, that are hexic traits, primary traits level, and type level. Hexic trait is displayed by the person only in specific situations. So hexic trait is that is displayed by an individual in specific situation. Primary traits are manifested in broader range of behavior than hexic traits. Primary traits are broader range of behaviors than in hexic traits. Types are composed of primary traits which have positive intercorrelations. So there is primary traits, hexic traits, and type. Next main heading is 5-factor model. 5-factor model, also known as Big Five. As its name implies, according to the model, there are 5 broad personality factors. The 5 factors are extroversion, neuroticism, conscientiousness, agreeableness, and openness. So these are the 5 factors. These are the 5 factors or big 5 dimensions of personality using the name assigned by MC Cray and Costa. First letters of big 5 dimensions can be recorded to spell out the word ocean, an easy way to keep them in memory. So O for openness, C for conscientiousness, E for extraversion, A for agreeableness, and N for neuroticism. So these all are about the theories, the trait theories. First one is Cattell first of all, we discussed first main heading is objective, that we don't have to discuss more. Second main heading is type approach to personality, that is Hippocrates blood, firm black bile and yellow bile, William Sheldon's ectomorphic, endomorphic and mesomorphic, Meyer and Briggs extroversion, extrovert and introvert, sensing or intuition, thinking or feeling, next judging or perception. Next main heading is trait approach and theories. In that, Allport's trait approach, that is common traits, central traits and cardinal traits and secondary traits. Next one is Cattell trait approach, that is surface and source traits and constitutional and environmental trait, ability, temperament and dynamic traits. Next one is Eysenck theory. Here we discussed about extroversion, psychoticism, inhibition theory, also there in the Eysenck approach, Eysenck trait type approach, and there is two theories here in the Eysenck under the Eysenck type bar trait approach, that is inhibition theory and arousal theory. In inhibition theory, it is said that if inhibition is strong, nervous system also strong, so the introvert brain react quickly and extrovert brain react slowly. In arousal theory, it is said that psychological system called ascending reticular activating system, the relation between ARS and cortex become reciprocal, that is ARAS activate the cortex, which in turn influence ARAS either by increasing or inhibiting the excitability. Eysenck was of view that introverts have innately higher levels of arousal than extroverts. Ascending reticular activating system, which is the network of fibers from brain stem to the thalamus and cortex. Next one is Guilford trait theory. In Guilford trait theory, we discussed about four traits. They are physiological and morphological traits. Next one is need, interest and attitudes. Next one is aptitude, and last one is temperaments. Once again I will say physiological and morphological traits, need, interest and attitudes, aptitudes and temperaments. Last one is 5-factor model theory. Here we discussed about 5 factors. As its name implies, according to model, there are 5 broad personality factors, each of which is composed constellation of traits. They are extroversion, neuroticism, conscientiousness, agreeableness, openness. Extroversion is the quality and intensity of interpersonal interaction. Neuroticism is emotional instability. Conscientiousness is the organization, persistence and motivation in goal-directed behaviors. Agreeableness is compassion to antagonism in thinking, feeling and action. Openness is tolerance for exploration for something new and unfamiliar. So these are all about the chapter unit 2 of block number 1. Thank you.